Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Okay, Mike, if you could do the mandala, please.
Thank you. Sashi Puki Jukshin Metok Chum Rira Bling Shin Indegam Padi Sange Shindu Mikte Orgi Jokun Namdak Shingla Juparshok Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami.
I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration, wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, I will attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. Okay, let's do a little rejoicing. Aretha, do you want to do some rejoicing? I'm not hearing anything.
I am translating Lama, dear Lama. So can you hear me in English channel?
Yes.
So I switch to you. I'm rejoicing that I went to hospital and everything worked well for me. It was a sudden visit this Saturday, and everything worked well. So I'm here with you and can translate you.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm sorry you had to go to the hospital. I sent Anna the text to translate.
Yeah, but she sent it. I will be translating. So she
Okay.
sent it to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Katerina. Katerina, what do you have to rejoice about today?
Hello, dear Lama Sumati. I'm glad to see you all. That today we have the class. Can you hear me well? I rejoice that we have a meeting a few minutes ago with, with my Dharma friend. We make 4 powers like Sojong. We speak with each other about what we do, best things and bad things. And we help each other.
Say in Russian. That's okay.
Я радуюсь тому, что
I rejoice that
с тех пор, как благодаря вам вы дали нам
thanks
передачу
to
«Белые
you,
тары»,
you gave
и
us
Виктория с Еленой продолжают нас
White Tara,
поддерживать, и
and
каждый
Victoria
месяц мы
is
делаем
supporting us,
практику,
and we do
и у меня
practice every
получилось ни
month.
разу не пропускать.
Trying
Я
to
радуюсь тому,
participate in
что
White Tara
есть
practice every
группа
month. I'm
девушек
glad that I
уже
have a group of
случайно, и мы
friends who study
регулярно с
Dharma,
ними
and
созваниваемся. И
we
сейчас у
call each
нас
other on regular
такой сезон,
basis. And we
когда
had such a
поддерживают друг
call a
друга в
couple of
том, чтобы
minutes
делать
ago,
ежедневные
and we
практики,
support each other to do
нести
daily
обеты.
practices, follow the
Высшими
vows.
последний раз, когда мы давали
Last
обед,
time when we
она
were
приняла обет
taking
бодхисаттвы, мы
vows,
поддержали в
we
этом.
took
Иногда мы
Bodhisattva vows.
советуемся друг с другом,
We
кто
exchange
как
with each
понимает
other
обеты, в каких-то
our
деталях
understanding of
помогаем друг
vows,
другу.
and support each other
Поддерживаем сложные моменты. У
in
кого-то с
difficult
мамой
times.
сложные отношения, еще какие-то вещи, и мы
For example, with
поддерживаем
mother
друг
or
друга. Я
etc.
рада
We
с
support
нашей
each other, and
регулярности,
we
что это делаем
rejoice that we have
достаточно.
regular practices and support each other.
Excellent. Yeah, I rejoice too. That's a very helpful step on your path, is to have a group to work with. So very good. And I'm glad you've embraced the White Tara practice. It's a lovely practice. Okay, Svetlana.
Hello there, Venerable Sumati. Hello, everyone. I'd like to rejoice that I spent around around 4 days with my family, and I had an opportunity to be of service to them. So I enjoyed, and I'm happy that they were glad as well. So I rejoice in it and dedicate that everyone can be close to their dear ones and to those who are helping them to become a better person.
Wonderful. Was it Mother's Day in Russia this week?
I don't think that we celebrated so widespread. It's not well. It's not well known more about Western thing.
Oh, well, it's probably President Putin saying you can't practice Mother's Day. I'm kidding. I should stay out of it. Well, it's really good karmically that you're supporting your parents and your family, and you had a chance to spend some good time with them. I'm always very happy when my students have parents that love them and siblings that they get along with. My lovely wife's brother, my age, Bruce, and his kids go on vacation. They're grown up now. They go on vacation together. Every once a month, we go over to their house for pancakes and waffles. I haven't had French toast yet, but I rejoice in that. That's wonderful. Okay, who's next? Anna, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello, dear Venerable Sumati. Hello, everyone. Thank you for opportunity to rejoice. About my rejoicing, we had celebrate the Mother's Day in my country, and my mom was in some bad mood. She was upset. I don't know. She is pretty old, and sometimes it happens. I just try to support her, but today she got her pension money to her card, and she's in very nice mood, and I am very glad. I try to support her in any way, and she went to a big supermarket to buy some food, what she what she likes. So I am happy because she's happy.
Good, good. Us older people get kind of crotchety. So you just have to put up with this. I don't know if I qualify for old. Most of the people I think are older in their 80s or 90s, but most people think I'm older in their 30s or 40s. So, okay. Mike, what do you have to rejoice in? You make a decision on when you're going to move?
I did not make a decision on when I'm going to move, but it's getting closer. Some options have been coming out of the woodwork. So yeah, just day by day, and I'm just trying to wrap things up here so I'm ready when things do actually happen. I want to rejoice in I saw my mom yesterday. I saw my parents yesterday. I went to Philadelphia for that. And yeah, it was interesting because I've been trying to have less of a um, response to the things that they say, and like, you know, if they're giving their opinions on what I'm doing, or you know, it's like I give them something that I'm proud of and that I'm happy about, and then they throw like mud and dirt on it and like kick it on the floor a couple times, and they're like, "Here, here's your thing back." So I've been trying to, you know, instead of having like a reaction of like anger or like trying to I don't know, instead of getting frustrated and like continuing to plant those seeds over and over again, I've been trying to just see them as people who want the best for me, and like the things that they're saying and doing is like their attempt to like love and nurture me, even though it might be like misplaced or, you know, not received well by me. So I appreciate their efforts in whatever way that they can give them. And I want to celebrate the fact that I can do that, because before I was able to do that, it was a lot different of an experience for me. Going to my parents' house, it was like torture. And now it's like babysitting or something.
Well, that's Mike. I'm really that's really impressive because um, to recognize that and sincerely believe that what they're doing is what they think is best, um, or showing love is that's a huge step. My parents always expected us to get good grades in school. So when we got good grades, big deal. We were supposed to get good grades. My lovely wife's parents would always celebrate good grades by going out to dinner or something like that. So one thing I've noticed in my life is there are certain things that have happened to me that I consider to be miraculous, and I don't describe those to people um, very often because I've had that happen, and then they go, "Oh, that's nothing. That's just silly," and that takes the shine off stuff that you feel is miraculous. So you offer your parents something that you think is good and they don't think it is, well, that's too bad for them. But rather than get them irritated, um, they're showing love. So I'm very impressed. You keep it up. I think you'll find it'll come around. And it certainly beats getting mad, leaving the house going, I'm never coming back again. So, and we'll see you on Mike lives about half an hour from Washington, D.C., and I'm going to be there a week from today, and we're going to have dinner. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Doesn't have to be anywhere fancy. I gave you the address? Yeah, okay.
Yep, got it.
That's
Looking
gonna
forward
be
to it.
that's gonna be fun. Okay. Um, Daria, do you have anything to rejoice in?
Good morning, Venerable Sumati. Yes, I rejoice. Yesterday in the evening, my mom woke me up and she feel bad because she had pressure. It's high pressure, and I did injection. And today I have the made, and I made an appointment with my mother to see a doctor, and he came to us, and today she feel better, and I'm happy.
Well, you helped your mom. That's something to certainly to rejoice in.
Yeah.
Dedicated to people helping you when you need the help. Okay. Tatiana.
Tatiana today is just a listener.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll rejoice that she's just listening. How's that? Okay. Now I have Svetlana's note taker, otter.ai. That's no one. Okay. I don't see Katya anymore.
Да, добрый вечер. Добрый вечер.
Good
У меня
evening.
огромная благодарность
I am
каждому.
very
Я
grateful
сейчас
to
просто
each of you.
плачу, потому
I'm
что,
crying right now
потому что у меня очень сложные
because
отношения с детьми.
I have very difficult relations
Потому
with
что
children.
я постоянно
I
перемалываю одну и ту же историю.
always think
Они
about one
взрослые,
same
ну, кроме
story.
младшей, которая
They
еще
are
идет в школу.
adults, just
Они
the
имеют
little
все,
one,
что,
she's in
ну, в
school.
принципе,
But others,
самодостаточно, и они
they
зарабатывают вроде, ну, вот, мне не
independent, they earn
помогают.
money,
Я
but they're not helping
работаю,
me. I work
работаю и достаточно
um,
сильно, несмотря на то, что я
a lot,
имею переломы позвоночника.
despite the fact that I have my
И
broken
это
spine.
вы для меня просто сейчас как
You
ангелы.
are for me like
Это
angels.
первое. А
That's
второе,
the first thing. And the
а
second,
второе, я не могла встать тут.
I
Excuse
could,
me. Excuse
uh-huh.
me. I have a doctor calling me. Just excuse me a minute. Oh, they hung up. Never mind. Continue, please.
А второе очень важное для меня. Я не
And
могла
very
встать.
important to me.
Ну,
I
я не
couldn't
могла,
wake
видимо,
up all
нервы
the day,
защемилось
stand
или
up.
что-то, не могла встать.
Nerve or
Боль
something else,
очень сильная,
very
боль
heavy pain in
страшная.
my back,
Я как-то справляюсь с
and
этим
I
благодаря мудрости.
stitch it with the
Но в
help of
этот момент
wisdom.
у меня
But at
была
that
такая
moment,
история, что я прямо сумела
I could manage
увидеть не собственную
to,
боль,
to see not
а
just my
я
pain,
сумела
I
посвятить
managed
каждое
to
мгновение,
dedicate
когда мне
every
удается
moment
встать,
when I
ну,
managed to
подняться
stand
с
up from my
кровати
bed.
в положение.
Um,
Я
I
посвятила тому,
I
чтобы,
dedicated it
дорогой
for
учитель, вы
dear teacher
обрели
who
здоровье. И это было само
became
собой.
healthy
Ничто не было нарочно.
naturally.
Это произошло,
It was so
и
natural
я
for me,
заметила, что я
dedicated for you,
что
and I
я
managed
поднялась.
to stop
И это
from my
было
bed,
очень сильно.
and
И
it was very
я низко
powerful for me.
кланяюсь вам
I bow to
за то,
you
что вы есть.
for you are with us, that you are here with us. Thank you, dear teacher.
Well, thank you.
Mhm.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm it's a interesting conundrum to be able to think that your karma will at some point run out for Parkinson, my karma for Parkinson's. I do wake up every day thinking that, and one of these days it's going to happen. It's kind of happened recently because I changed my medication schedule, and I've had 3 days in a row of very much more comfortable situation. So I'm on Friday, the Friday before I leave for my trip to Washington, I'm going to see a heart specialist. And I'm hoping he doesn't say I shouldn't go on the trip, because I'm going on the trip, whether he wants me to or not. But I think it's going to be funny to see what he says. I've had this irregular heartbeat for years. So for someone to say, no, you can't go on a trip, as my wife put it, I'm going to take the risk. So I don't think it's a serious risk. Anyway, so, okay, my rejoicing. Let's see. Well, I rejoice in my medications finally settling down. I feel pretty good. And I had my sister here all of last week, which was really very fun. She's the sister I'm closest to. We had a good time. I like to make her laugh. We did jigsaw puzzles together. She's also a great fan of leftovers. So I cooked a couple of original recipes, but we had a lot of leftover food from fellow students the week before. So it's always nice to be able to serve leftovers. Okay, well, we're going to continue our meditation, so please get comfortable. Okay. Spine straight, head level, eyes lowered or closed. Left hand over right. Legs, shoulders comfortable. We'll watch our breath for one round of 10 breaths. Make it nice and slow and long, but not to the point of being uncomfortable. I'll count. Now go for refuge in the fact that the teachings of this course can help us change our behavior in order to actually protect us and help us truly help other beings. Next, think of your bodhicitta. Think of someone you know who's having trouble. Think how much you'd like to be able to help them. Grow that feeling in your heart. Invite your holy being to come and meditate with you today. They sit in the air at a full-length prostration away, life size, smiling and happy that you are doing this death meditation. Mentally prostrate 3 times, thanking them for their good qualities. That's all the prostration is. It's just, for me, it's a sign of respect, not subservience. Make them an offering. The nicest is one is some part of your practice you did well today or yesterday. Next, confess a specific wrong deed that you've done in the past 24 hours. Determine to try hard not to do it again. Now rejoice, tell them a specific goodness that you did and be happy about it. Ask for teachings, both formal and informal. Remember, teachers surround you throughout the day. And ask for the teachers to stay, pray for their long lives and continued involvement with us. Okay, shift around if you need to, then settle back and we'll get into the meditation. You are at the edge of a thick, dark forest, looking out into a clearing that has a building. The building is adobe, has clay tiles on the roof. It's very solid looking. There's a moat in front of it and a bridge that crosses the moat. Between the moat and the building is a beautiful meadow with flowers and tall grass. Between you and the moat is a clearing. You've been struggling through this dark forest without a trail for a long time. You are tired from having carried a heavy backpack that contains all your possessions. You have so much stuff that you couldn't fit it all into the backpack, so things are strapped to the outside as well. They caught the branches and have made the trip hard. Your arms and face are all scratched up. You're hot, you're tired, and you're thirsty. You see in the near clearing a table with food and drinks and lots of people milling around. You walk towards the table and have to push to get past it. People are all around, seemingly don't even recognize you're around. As you push them gently to get to the table and have something to eat and drink, they push back and they grab at what's strapped to the outside of your backpack. It seems like it's everyone for him or herself. No concern about the other person. You slap at their hands, defending your stuff, all the while trying to get to the food and drink. This scene is like someone living life in denial of their inevitable death. We constantly struggle to get what we want or think we need. We struggle to protect our stuff from people that think they need it more than we do. We use up our good karma and create negative karma without a moment's hesitation. The stuff in the backpack, as well as outside, represents all our unnecessary possessions, relationships, inaccurate beliefs, opinions, unnecessary activities. Perhaps the canteen strapped to the outside is a big house mortgage that you struggle to get out of. You should never have bought that house or apartment, but you thought you'd have your job forever, so you could just barely afford it. The flashlight could be your fancy car, the need to get a new car every year. The bedroll represents that friend who just likes to go to the bar and argue politics without any suggestion for a solution. Without meditating on death, we will never come to see how useless and petty much of what we really do is, and hence we perpetuate this cycle of life, samsara. You break out of the crowd, knowing there's something wrong with this picture. You cannot go on like this anymore. Something has to change. You move toward the bridge across the moat and walk to the high point in the center of the arched bridge span. The bridge represents the benefit of doing a good death meditation. You put the backpack down for a minute and open it up. You start to throw items over the bridge railing, identifying them as you go. And sincerely saying good riddance. This is renunciation. You have obligations like a deed to a house or a deed to a car that you can't ignore, but you can no longer have 3 newspaper subscriptions or listen to the news for what's approximately 2 hours a night. You are eliminating all the useless activities and things and relationships that eat up your time without bringing any good, real benefit. Pick up your pack and continue across the bridge, having gotten rid of all those things without regret. The key is to not have regret. You don't want regret to come into your mind when you die and you're in the bardo. You are over the bridge. The backpack is very light, but you still feel dirty, hot, and tired. You look ahead and see a gauntlet of armed guards that you must pass through before you make it to the building. They are scary and menacing. They represent the other kind of death meditation where you practice the terror and panic of death. You know this, and you muster your remaining strength and courage and run right past them before they can react. Suddenly, you find yourself in a peaceful meadow, refreshed, clean, and you have no more backpack. You are carefree and skip toward the building. Then you find yourself standing in front of a yellow door on the building's east side. This is the front door of the building. The adobe structure surrounds a courtyard. You sense it has lots of rooms to go through before reaching the courtyard. On the door is a sign, "Death is certain." You open the door It's cool inside, but it's quite black. The room is circular. Just to your right is a huge vicious dog, snapping and snarling at the end of a chain, just out of the reach of you. It is snarling and snapping. It can't wait to sink its teeth into you. This is the Lord of Death. And if he gets a hold of you, your death is a certainty. You move to the center of this room, and the light's a little bit brighter, and you see a large hourglass standing on a table, waist high. The sand is flowing down quickly, and you can see that the hourglass is over half empty. This represents your lifespan, which is constantly running out. So this is your life leaking away. The hourglass is affixed to the table, so nothing can stop the flow. You can't take a rest. You must move on. You look beyond the table and see a corridor leading from the room. Because your life is slipping away as represented by the hourglass, you run through the opening and into the corridor. Along the walls are images of all the different teachers you've had, teachings you've attended. You run by not being able to stop and think about each teaching. You're propelled past them by an unstoppable force. Your karma for life is wearing out. It's a wonderful thing to say you've been to every one of Geshe Michael's teachings or His Holiness or Lama Zopa. But it means more, at least to this teacher. If you've studied one thing thoroughly, that's better than studying 3 or 4 things partially or not understanding. At the end of this corridor is a green door with a sign that says, "Time of death is uncertain." You open the door and step into a triangular room. You're at the apex, and at the base across from the room from you, is a red door. In front of you is a garbage can with a calendar in it. Your 72nd birthday is circled there. You recall that lifespans are not fixed, so think you will live as long as the chart says is a fundamental ignorance that we all accept as true. You walk past the garbage fund and garbage can, and you find yourself in your living room at home. You see all this stuff, and you're happy about it, but you know that somewhere in all of it is a tripwire that will set off a bomb. That's a metaphor. This is realization that there's so much that can kill you and so little that can sustain you. Look at each object in your living room and wonder, is this what could kill me? For instance, the sharp corner of that IKEA coffee table. If you were to trip and fall and hit the temple of your head on that corner, you could be dead. I have a much better appreciation for things that are difficult for me to do, not so much harm me, now that I don't consider myself handicapped still, but that's another story. You walk further out of the living room, and you step on a thorn. It goes right through the sole of your shoe. When you pull it out, you see some blood on it. So you open up the shoe, take the shoe off, and sure enough, you're bleeding from your big toe. You recall the body is very fragile. A mutation in DNA from one cosmic ray can harm you tremendously. So could pollution, chemical pollution. Lately, there's all this worry about microplastics. Now you're in front of a red door, and on it says, "Only the Dharma can help." You enter a door like a corridor like a greenhouse, and you stand in it looking out, but there's a one-way glass, so you can see out, but the people outside can't see in. You stop on both sides of the corridor. You see your loved ones and closest friends. They're all having a good time and are completely unaware of you. You bang on the glass to get their attention, thinking, "Hey, don't forget me." You get angry when they seem to have forgotten you. Remember what you did what you did for them, they kind of help you and they will forget you. We never stop to think of how they feel, that we won't remember them. You continue walking, and now you're at a room on both sides that's full of all your stuff, but it's disorganized, just tossed into boxes. Strangers are going through it, mixing box contents. And perhaps your beloved truck is there and several people are poking around it, pointing out the scratches and the worn seat covers. You get upset. You can't take any of these positions with you. And you're upset that you cannot get to them or that others don't care about them. Now you are at the end of the corridor. There's a dead naked body laid out on a gurney. You walk over to it, look carefully at it, and you realize it's your body. The face is featureless, unrecognizable. Recall that you cannot take your body with you. Your face, your name, your identity of this life are gone. So what comes after? What comes with me? My karma, my bodhisattva vows, and my tantric vows, and nothing else. I keep saying I'm going to try very hard to contact people on the other side just so I can let you know what's going on. But apparently that's not going to happen. The karma for that not happening for any of us has not worked out. It does not mean that I won't be able to do it when I die, if my karma is such that I can. You turn back into the corridor and see a white door. You open the door and step into a turret-shaped room, like in a castle. It has slits and light is shining down into the turret. To your left, Leaning against the wall is a staff slightly taller than you. You reach with your left hand. It is important that you use your left hand. Take the staff, and it fits perfectly like it was made just for you. As you take it, you say to yourself, if it is sure that I'm going to die, I decide now to start my spiritual practice. You take one step forward with the left foot towards the sunlight, but you're not in the sunlight yet. As you do, you pound the staff on the ground and hear the sharp noise that it makes. This represents your decision. Since I don't know when I am to die, I must start my spiritual practice now, and I will quit my worldly work, which really means you'll quit your worldly way of thinking. You step forward again with your left foot into the sunlight. Raise the staff high over your head. This represents your decision. If nothing but my spiritual practice can help me, then I devote myself to my spiritual practice. There is no point in doing anything else, and I strive for the highest of practices. You look to the right and see a door of royal blue shimmering. You lower your staff and point to it. This is the highest spiritual practice. On the other side of the door. On the door are the words Dakshin Namje, Namje, equalizing and exchanging self and others. Your resolution to practice only the highest practices gives you the desire to open the door. You enter a large oval room with a big table and a person sitting at it. The table is set for two, and there's a serving tray alongside the table. You sit down, pull out a magnifying glass, lean over the table, and look into their eyes with the magnifying glass so you can see what they're looking at on that serving tray. You take the plate of mashed potatoes on tofu, stir fry, and place it in front of them. This is the physical level of serving others. You look again at their eyes and see which glass of liquid they would want, and you hand them a glass of milk that they turn their eyes to. This represents serving their emotional needs. You check again as they glance at the desserts, and you offer them the piece of cheesecake they were looking at. This represents serving their spiritual needs. You get up and go to the next room, which is oval again, but there's no door in between. There's another table set for two, another person, serving cart. But this time you ask the person to sit in your spot and you sit in theirs. As they think about the dinner, beverage, and dessert, they are you and get it for you because they're thinking the same thing as you are. You're trying to think like they do, see through their eyes instead of yours, acting out of awareness for others' needs first. If you want to make someone happy, don't think about what you think would make them happy or what you think would take away their suffering, and find out what really would by asking if at all possible. The distinction of you and them is still there, but it is fading. You get up and move to one more oval room. In the center is a small cafe table and 2 chairs, and the person is seated in one of them. There is a nice cake on the table between the two of you. There is a ball of red string, and you pick it up and unroll it, laying it around the floor counterclockwise, encompassing the table and chairs. And you tie the ends together. You then deliberately step inside the circle. This action represents breaking down the distinction between yourself and the other person. The other person asks, "Why didn't you put the string between us?" You answer mysteriously, "It's just arbitrary," knowing full well that you had a purpose to do it. You sit down. Simultaneously, you both reach with your ring finger of your left hand and tap each other's forehead at the third eye location 3 times. This represents recognition of the common enemy, suffering, and the mental afflictions that it causes. You recall that it's not enough to struggle with our own mental afflictions in our mind. If we see others, it is our karma ripening due to the mental afflictions, to our mental afflictions as well. You both notice there's 1 fork on the table, and magically you both pick it up, take a bite of cake, and both eat it at the same time. This represents the democracy principle. It is incomplete to make efforts of our own happiness when billions of people are equally wanting to be free from suffering. You get up and walk to a silver door. You open it, and you're looking at the hexagonal room from the source of all my good meditation. Okay, you can open your eyes now. For those of you that don't think you can meditate for very long, now is about half an hour. Okay, we're going to talk about bardo beans today. Our text is the Abhidhamma Kosha. The bardo bean is called a bardoa, or a smell eater. Many of the teachings on the bardo have been corrupted, but we're using the Abhidhamma Kosha, which is accepted by all the schools. Bardo beings are born complete. Right after death, we take a brief series of rebirth. Now, why is that necessary? Because you can't have a broken continuum. There must be instances of time between death and rebirth. The period of time between death and rebirth and what goes on during that time is what we call the bardo. An analogy might be, it's just in my head. Would purgatory be the right analogy? No. What's the analogy in the Christian world for the bardo? It's not purgatory. You get sent to purgatory. Well, a grain of corn has to string along in some way in order to become the corn stalk. The kernel has to go through being a sprout before it can become a corn plant. We cannot go from death to a new life without going through the bardo. If a being dies in Tucson and the continuum of them is to be born in LA sometime later, they must travel to the next rebirth. Since the continuum between birth and death, and death and birth cannot be broken, the bardo must exist. If you are not reborn in exactly the same place you die, so there must be an intermediate state in which you travel to your rebirth. That particular argument doesn't work for me because I do not recall where I was when I died last time. Ultimately, everything is projection shifting. Learning about how and why and what the mind does at what we call death, or the bardo, rebirth. You learn to stop the cycle and how to make projections that shift differently. Karma will force us to see ourselves taking a bardo body. Then it will force us to see our bardo body taking rebirth. This comes from causes, so it does not have to be. You cannot disprove the bardo. There will come a day when you will see that it's true directly in your own deep meditation. Lord Buddha taught that there are 7 kinds of bardo beings. 7 kinds of beings, and one of them is a bardoa. If we accept Lord Buddha's omniscience and other teachings, then we must accept the concept of bardo beings. In another teaching, Lord Buddha taught the 3 conditions necessary for human rebirth. First, there must be a woman with a physical body capable of conception and birth. The father and mother have desire and make sexual conduct. And a bardoa must be in the vicinity of the activity of the parent to be born. A bardoa is not considered a rebirth, as it is not listed about the 5 types of beings who have rebirth. Lord Buddha said quite simply, if you do one of the 5 immediate misdeeds, you go straight to the lowest hell, but you still pass through the bardo. Bardoa's bodies are made of very subtle matter. Their appearance is that of a being that they're going to be next. This is because the projecting karma that creates next rebirth is the same one that creates the bardoa. If reborn as a hell being, then in the bardo you will have the color of a burnt piece of wood. A preta is translucent. The animal realm version of you is smoke-colored. Humans and devas are golden colored and appear as a 5 or 6-year-old child. Pleasure beings in the form realm are white, fully adult, clothed in white. In the formless realm, as you might expect, you can't see. The lifespan of a bardoa is debatable. Most widely accepted is 7 days. The shortest is several seconds. Then the bardoa dies, and if not yet in another realm rebirth, then becomes a bardoa again. This is repeated 7 times, so 49 days in the bardo must take rebirth within these 49 days. There is a ritual done on the 7th day. The first day is the day of death. My wife does a reading for the Buddhist, well, even non-Buddhist practitioners. She starts reading a section of the Book of the Dead. Bardoas can be seen by someone with the eye of God. I like that. The eye of God. 11 conditions prevent us from getting the eye of God, which are mainly the 11 obstacles to meditative concentration. The 11 obstacles, failing to direct one's attention properly, improper physical states, feeling of dullness or sleepiness, mental excitation, excessive applications of effort, vacant mental wandering, anxiety, too many different ideas, talking too much, and trying too hard to meditate. Although the same types can see each other. So if you look out and you see someone that's the color of burnt wood, that's not good news. A trollku is an emanation from a totally enlightened being, so they don't need the bardo to get where they're going. Once in the bardo, you cannot be diverted to a different birth, but you can reach nirvana. Bardo beings fly, they travel quickly, very far, through solid objects, but cannot pass through the tissue of a mother's womb once they are in the womb. Bardoas live on subtle forms of food like smells. If you notice that you're upside down, you see people upside down, or you feel upside down in the bardo, that means you're headed to the lower realm. While for it being normal, that attitude, then you're going to the higher realm. So for human rebirth, this is an example with the bardo. The projecting karma sends you to the vicinity of the parents who are making love. You see them from a distance and have an attraction to thinking you can join the fun and the pleasure. You draw closer and closer, then find yourself trapped inside the womb. You cannot get out because there's a karmic shift. The bottom line is this. Events happen as we die, elements collapsing, causing certain mental perceptions, which are hallucinations and are very scary. A bardo being is being driven to the next life, searching and wandering about, drawn by karma to the destination of conditions for rebirth, all forced by karma. We talked in the karma class about projecting and finishing karma. One of the whole points for the death meditation is very simply making sure you have on your mind positive, productive thoughts. For instance, when I was rolling my truck, I wasn't scared. I wasn't regretting what I hadn't done. My wife knew I loved her. We had no arguments. I didn't owe anybody anything. So when the truck was rolling, I wasn't thinking about, oh, I didn't tell my wife I loved her. Oh, I didn't return those things to that person. I was thinking instead, well, I'm about to find out what's really going to happen. So to do the death meditation really well takes a weekend and a retreat. And I think maybe that's something, we could do it over Zoom. I think that's something we should think about doing. Maybe sometime later this summer. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Time 11. Let's dedicate this. Now, Thursday we have class, and the next week we don't, because I'll be in DC, and that's 3 hours ahead. And for me to teach, that'll be in the middle of the day for most all the events that I'm participating in. So what does that make it? That makes Trying to bring my calendar. Come on, calendar. Okay. So that makes our next class the 26th. Yeah. Yeah, the 26th. Okay. So let's dedicate. May the precious Bodhi mind not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. May the source of benefit and goodness, the Dharma, spread and expand. May the beings upholding the Dharma have excellent health. May the source of happiness and well-being for all embodied beings, the Dharma taught by the Buddhas, always increase. I recognize that this material is sort of boring, but it's important that we have some feel for all the different beings there are in the world so that we can genuinely hope to serve them and remove their suffering. So, who am I sending my notes to? Svetlana, you'll let me know.
Yes, I can send an email. Елена Poltaratskaya is going to translate Thursday class.
Okay, if you'll send me an email with her link,
Okay.
I will take care of sending her the notes. Good to see you all. I'm really, it's always a joy to see everybody. So, and what's the cat's name, Mike?
Art Vandalay.
Mandalay?
Art Vandalay. It's a character from Seinfeld.
Oh. Who was the character?
It was like Jerry and George went to a corporate office building and they were trying to get in to like meet with an executive for lunch. So they pretended that George was named Art Vandalay and like he was an importer exporter and like an architect, and yeah, it was funny.
Well, I can't say I remember that episode, but okay. Okay. We'll see everybody on Thursday. Have a good couple of days and look forward to continuing this rather weird subject. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Dylan Sumati.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Please stay.
Well, I intend to. We'll see
So
what the
much.
doctors have to say. Okay. Bye-bye.